What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? What would happen to gravity? Would we be flung into space? Would the oceans rise and swallow the land? Would time itself break? These are the questions we never ask, because we trust the Earth to keep turning. But what if, in a single moment, that spin came to a stop? Here's what would happen. 1. Everything on the surface would launch forward at 600 kilometers per hour. The Earth's rotation is what keeps everything steady. If it stopped instantly, everything not anchored deep into the crust would fly eastward at breakneck speed. People, animals, cars, buildings, all swept away in a single deadly moment. The force would destroy nearly all life near the equator. 2. Massive tsunamis would flood the continents. The oceans would continue moving even if the land didn't. Gigantic waves, hundreds of meters tall, would race across the globe. Coastal cities would vanish beneath them. Islands would disappear. The planet would drown in its own oceans. 3. Winds faster than any hurricane would rip across the world. The atmosphere would keep spinning even after the surface stopped. This would create windstorms faster than sound, flattening forests, tearing buildings apart, and stripping the surface of the Earth bare. Air itself would become a weapon. 4. The Earth would become a planet of two extremes, endless day and endless night. One side would face the sun forever. It would burn, boil, and dry up. The other side would be lost in eternal darkness, frozen and lifeless. Only a thin ring between light and dark might stay warm enough to support life. 5. The oceans would drain from the equator and flood the poles. Without the centrifugal force caused by spinning, Earth would become more spherical. Water from the equator would flow toward the poles, drowning northern and southern lands and drying up the tropics. Equatorial countries would turn to deserts. Greenland might become the new sea. 6. The magnetic field would vanish. Earth's rotation helps power its magnetic shield. Without it, that shield collapses. Solar radiation would pour in, frying electronics, mutating DNA, and making the surface of Earth dangerous to life. Northern lights would appear everywhere, but they'd be deadly. 7. Violent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions would tear the crust apart. As the planet adjusts to its new shape, tectonic plates would grind, shift, and shatter. Volcanoes would erupt without warning. Continents could fracture. Entire regions might fall into the sea. 8. Time would lose all meaning. There would be no sunrise, no sunset, just one endless moment of day or night, depending on your location. Plants would die. Animals would go blind. Humans would lose track of their minds and their rhythms. Crops wouldn't grow. Life would collapse. 9. Human civilization would retreat to the twilight zone. Only the narrow zone between the burning day side and frozen night side could support life. People would build cities along this thin line, constantly moving to stay within the only livable strip. Wars would be fought over this fragile space. 10. The moon would drift away. With no spin and changing gravity, the moon would slowly slip from orbit. Tides would disappear. The Earth's axis would wobble. Seasons would vanish. The night sky would darken, and the planet would spin into long-term instability or even break apart. This is what keeps us alive, a silent, constant spin. We don't feel it, we don't see it, but without it, Earth becomes something unrecognizable. Not a planet of life, but a planet of chaos.